Peace, 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 peace. What is going on, world? Welcome to another episode of Substantial Weekly. Happy Sunday instead of Happy Friday, but it's always a happy time as long as we're here together, man. Glad to see everybody. Sorry we weren't able to go live on Friday. Definitely has been a bit hectic since I got back from Italy on Wednesday night. And yeah, man, just figure I'd postpone it till today. Make it like old times and stuff, man. Back in the Substantial Sunday times. But shout out to everybody, man. Hope y'all are doing well. Also, man, just want to start off with an apology for the craziness over on Discord and stuff. We've had a few times where people come in there trying to post crazy links and all of that. So I appreciate your patience, and I appreciate like folks either DMing me about it. Shout out to Namu Wonderling, my nephew Nair, who's hit me via text. Was like, "Yo, just giving you heads up," So I appreciate it, man. But I appreciate y'all patience and continued support per usual. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Kais, what's going on? Stephanie, it's Steph, y'all. Warpath, what up? Namu, peace. What's going on now? Yeah, Ousted. What's up? And those of you who were just kind of laying back and tuning in. I still need the rest. I don't. I was gonna say I wish I could show you how it looks in here. Nah, I really don't. It's crazy because I'm packing. So I got merch over there. I got a closed suitcase, an open suitcase. I got hand sanitizer, cologne, random, what I mean? I got my little joint, my charger situation, not my charger, but my plug, whatever, for my international travels. I got two different ones. I got this one that I, when it's really just me, little 4 USB situation, and then I can adjust it based on if I'm in Europe or whatever, if I'm in Europe, bow, you know what I mean? If I'm going to the UK specifically, then I got a different one, But yeah, man, this joint is crazy. But then I have another one that is more like a power strip, as opposed to this. So I definitely got all the things, but like then I got crazy stuff that I'm not going to tell you that's literally like in my eyeline right now. Yeah, it's wild right now. Just getting ready to hit this road again, I missed the Discord stuff. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. Just people trying to be like, hey, check out my porn site. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what was happening on Discord. So deleting those and blocking those folks as quick as we could. Apologies for just the craziness of it all. Oh, snap, on a Sunday. I know, man. It's old times. Taking it back real quick, Hold on one second. Yeah, making sure that ring is off. Hey, what up, sis? What up, Stacy? All right. Hope you like the pictures we were sending while we were out there. And I'm going to show some of y'all some pictures today. Got that loading up. Currently cleaning my room, too, as we speak. Yeah, I need to clean this joint something terrible. Mr. International, I'm doing what I can, brother. You know what I mean? It was dope to actually be out there with family and friends, too, though. I feel you pack it up now to travel for work going to Illinois. Safe travels, fam. Hope everything goes smoothly. So just letting y'all know, I am, for the recap stuff, I do have some photos and video. Well, photos, I should say, that I'm going to share with you all. But just be patient because I wasn't finished doing it or whatever. It's a lot of them, and I'm not putting everything up. And certain things that slowed me up required some cropping and all of that type of stuff. But I got the first ones loaded, and man, got the next joints coming up. Hold on, and then the other part is like, we got kids and all of that stuff too. So try not to show too much, man, because it's not just my family; it's other people's families. So I'm sure y'all get it. Y'all are the type of people where I don't have to explain these things. You know what I mean? Shout out to y'all for just being who y'all are, which is dope. Let's see. All right. Go back to the chat for a second. My apologies. Let's see. Stacy says this is a nice surprise. I love the pictures. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad you like the pictures, man. Everything was, yeah, it was beautiful. It was our first time out there. How many continents have you been to now, Sub? I've been to only four. Only four. I know that sounds weird saying it like that, but that's just how it came out. But only four. I've been to obviously North America and in different countries in North America. Um, I've been to Europe. I've been to Africa, and I've been to Asia. So I have yet to go to Australia. I haven't been to South America. Um, and obviously, as much as I'm dying to go, I have yet to go to Antarctica. So, you know what I mean? I'm working on it. You know what I mean? Shout out to the promoters down in Antarctica. We're working on things. You know what I mean? It's only right, someone who's as chill as I am. It's only right. You know what I mean? You gotta get down there and do chillaxation on an iceberg. You know what I mean? Goal. You know what I mean? Gotta happen. Gotta happen. Happy Sunday. Peace. What's going on, Sal? Hope you're having a blessed day. Man, I cannot complain, fam. I can't complain. Life is good. Let's see. All right, let's see if this photo finished loading. Yeah. All right, let's get another. I got a few more to load and we're going to start this joint. But in the meantime, if y'all got questions, we can go ahead and start out with Q&A while I load these up. And I'll just keep bouncing back and forth until we're ready. Yeah, I think I got like 4 more to load in and then we are good to go. Also, when this is done today, I got to jump back into writing, working on some new music, a new collab and stuff, which should be dope. Can't wait for y'all to hear that. Yeah, man, cooking per usual. A lot of music I got to knock out once I get back. Well, one, I'm going to try to record. I was supposed to get it done today. I don't know if that's likely to happen because I also got a video I got to finish editing. But, yeah, man, if all goes as planned, I'll be able to knock out this one joint before I leave. And then after that, what is it? I got some other stuff with my brother Blitz from the Plague. And yeah, man, cooking, yo. Just keeping busy, man. Not complaining. Just grateful that, still having fun making music and people are down to make some new music with me. So, counting the blessings. All right, here we go. Got this one. We're going to go to the chat right about now-ish. That's a girl. Oh, yeah, man. So many photos. Yeah. I'm trying to see which one's a better one. Yeah, I think that one. We'll add this. All right, let's go back to the chat for a sec. Says, weather's gorgeous today. Wanted to go see KRS, but I've been sick all weekend. Man, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Yeah, I wanted to go to that KRS One joint too. For those who don't know, Odyssey and his band performed yesterday. His band Good Company. Shout out to all the homies who play with him. All amazing artists, man. John Lane, the homie Rich, and the rest of the team. But yeah, man, wasn't able to go to the show yesterday because I was attending Teecon, which is really dope. We're gonna talk about that in a second too. But yeah, it was a beautiful day yesterday. It's another beautiful day today. One downside I would say to we've talked about it on the show a few times in the last 2 weeks. So I'm probably not going to go all the way in again today. But seeing how attendance has been impacted by the stuff going on in DC, how like some of the vendors who were trying to get to Teecon on Saturday and Friday were impacted and held up, and in some cases were turned around. Like folks not turned around, but people were having difficulties being able to even move in to the convention center to sell their stuff, as well as just people who were there to attend, not necessarily there to sell. So just seeing how business has been impacted by the presence of the Coast Guard and all of the all of the additional stuff happening in DC due to this administration. So it's crazy, man. Um, I thought of a good one the other day. What's your secret/advice to balancing all things you do and still being able to have downtime and relaxation? Scheduling. You know, I just want everybody to think for a second about how much time you spend every day organizing your schedule, right? How much time you spend writing stuff on the calendar, or if you have a digital calendar, like let's say if you got Gmail or whatever, then you got the Google Calendar. How much time you spend inputting things there, and making sure that you got notifications and all of this stuff, right? And not just the business stuff. How much time do you spend scheduling, like, your vacation, your family time, your outings, your dates, and all of these different things. And that's my secret. Like, it's really just staying as organized as possible to make sure that anytime a conversation happens about anything, whether it's me going to see Sherm to get a haircut, or like, taking the kids to the park or the museum, or a date night with the missus, or an event or a tour going to China, what time my flights are, all of that stuff goes in the calendar. You know what I mean? And then every day that I like when I wake up, I spend at least 30 minutes updating looking at the calendar, but also updating my to-do list. And then my to-do list, which to-do list with the S at the end, I have one that's a personal joint. And then when I was full-time at WBL, and because I still do stuff with them, I have one that's dedicated to Words, Beats, and Life. I have another list that's dedicated to me, the artist, Substantial. Then I have one that's dedicated to my business, Substantial Art and Music. And then I have the personal joint, right? So like in my to-do list, when I open it up, it's broken up into 5 sections, right? Because most of the things I have to do usually are, like in the past year, obviously, Words, Beats, and Life has played a bigger part. So than in the past. So having a dedicated joint, cause my list of things to do was always crazy. So and there's never less than like 5 to 10 things on each of those things daily, and then there's things that are more long term. And so I put it in order of priority, like what's the most pressing thing. And sometimes, man, I got to put basic stuff on there, like hang up the clothes, fam, put the clothes away, pack, right? Like stuff like, you know what I mean? Shower, son. You're doing a lot and you work from home. Maybe just having a visual cue to remind us, like, hey, it's great you're getting a lot of work done. People will be home in an hour. You should probably bathe. You know what I'm saying? So that's the secret, yo. Like for me, and Steph knows, because like even when we do stuff as a band, like I send them a Google Calendar invites, because that's just how my life runs, Has Serenity heard about Sonic Racing Cross Worlds? The game's open beta is live right now, and was curious if she's interested in the game. I haven't heard her talk about that at all. Honestly, she's been more talking about Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Lately, she finally just committed some time to saying, like, yo, I'm trying to beat this. Today, her boyfriend was over hanging out with Destiny as well, and they were playing Smash Bros. But I think before the day is out, we're probably going to finally cop Street Fighter 6. So those are the only games we've really been talking about lately, in particular her. And I think she's been talking about Hades, because they're apparently working on a sequel. So that's another one that's been coming up a lot. All right. It's looking like this is one of our last warm days out where I am. So I've been out here enjoying it. That's dope, man. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely been cooler this weekend. The high has been like 78 and stuff, like the last 2 days. So I ain't complaining. Happy Sunday. Peace, everyone. Happy Sunday. Yeah, man. What's going on, Soul Tiger? Welcome. are using Google Calendar or another. I use Google Calendar, you know. But yeah. All right, let's see. Going over here to see if these photos are. Yep, I'm almost done. I'm going to add these last few. Feel free to send another question through in the meantime while I get that loaded. Boom, 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 boom. It's almost there. So close. Man, yo, we had an amazing time. Yeah. All right, throw that one. That's a go. Man, looking at my family like, yo, yeah, we a good looking family. I ain't mad at none of these photos. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes you take some just like, ooh, they could have picked a better angle. You know, it's definitely there was a few of those moments, but for the most part, I'm like, man, it was yeah, yo, it was amazing. This summer was rough though. I would say leading up to it, the toughest part about leading up to you know, what we had to do, like with this trip and everything else. The toughest part was making a decision on what we were going to be able to do, because we had a friend renewing their vows in Jamaica. Shout out to Vic, man. We really wanted to be there for them. And then like the week after that, like we had friends who were getting married in Italy. And then we also, while that was happening, we had another friend who was getting married in Ghana. You know what I mean? So like that was tough. Like it was like Jamaica, Italy, or Ghana. You know what I mean? And so one of the things the missus and I have made a conscious decision to do is, you know, we've been trying to make sure that for our vacations, that we started traveling to places. We're trying to go to more places we haven't been yet. So we knew out the gate, as much as we wanted to be there for our friends doing their thing in Jamaica, we knew we probably weren't going to do that because we've already been. Like earlier in our relationship, we went to Jamaica together, and so we knew we wanted to go somewhere else. You know what I mean? And so yeah, man. So came down to like between Ghana and Italy, and yeah, man, and you know, Ghana would have been amazing. Shout out to Carla, and congrats to her and her husband. But like Italy, we knew like way more people that were going, so that was going to be a really, really unique experience because there were like 10 to 20 people that we knew who were going, that we have like 20, almost, you know, over 20 years history with. And so yeah, that was not I won't say it was the easiest decision to make, but like yeah, it definitely enticed us a little more to try to make that happen. So all right, the last of these pictures are coming in now. Sorry, talking you out of death, man, but hold up, let's see. Says, I'm sure I've missed all the talk about the Clips album. So yo, we haven't, I don't know if we really talked about it on here like that. But yeah, hey, listen. Listen, I just finished talking to someone about it yesterday or the day before. So I'm always down to have a conversation about it. I think I'll say this, man, like one of the things I really love about the Clips record is, you know, and this was a conversation I had in Italy with my man. You know, as MCs that kind of came up like as like, you know, like spitting more aggressive rhymes, battle rhymes, or street stuff, like the artists who do that, more so like the ones who are on the battle side of things. Sometimes the challenge that some of my peers, you know what I mean? I won't speak about artists I don't know, but some of my peers, what they've run into was like, you know, like how to grow their base past where it currently is. And part of what I was telling my man, I was just like, yo, man, y'all have experienced, I know y'all personally, so I know what some of your personal struggles have been, but I also listen to y'all music because I'm fans. And y'all don't really put a lot of the more personal stuff in your music. And that's probably like the biggest difference between like me and some of my peers who I was out there with. It's not that none of them do it. It's just that there's a lot of them who don't really put that side of them in their music. And I just was really stressing to one of my homies, man. I was like, bro, man, you're a great dude, and like I think this other part of you that people don't get to see, if that was in your music more, you'd be surprised like how many more people you could probably connect with. Because in my experience, that's what really built me like the long time, like the fans who like people like y'all who actively listen to me, not people who are kind of like passive listeners. Oh, he killed that verse, and then like if they see me again, they'll check for it, but they're not going out of their way to get whatever I do next. But I think the people who kind of rush back to be like, yo, whatever Substantial does next, or whatever this artist that I love does next, I'm there. Not trying to compare myself to Kendrick and people like that, but more so like in terms of subject matter, what he talks about. The people who love a J. Cole and whether it's Tupac or whoever, like artists who kind of dig deep and give you like these very personal stories and a deeper look into who they are and what makes them tick. Those type of artists and artists that make that kind of music, they oftentimes build like it's just in my experience and then what I've seen, and I think about the artists I love most, that vulnerability, right? Like that them opening up like and letting us in. That's what makes us love those kind of artists, man. And so I just try to, and if you're an artist watching this right now, sure, you can create this caricature of who you are, and you can be that and kind of hide that part of you if that's what you want to do. And I think it's easy for a lot of artists, and just no slight to my people who are just on the instrumental side of things. But if you're a person that is just kind of, if you're, I don't want to say just playing music, but if you play instruments or you compose music, it's not that you aren't being vulnerable like through these compositions that you're putting together, but it's left open to interpretation. Like people feel what they want to feel, and sometimes what you want them to feel when that's heard. But unless I'm being very abstract, if I really get to, I don't just talk about a random person. I put a name to that, right? I don't just talk about a random experience. I give you a location. I give you a year, right? I tell you exactly how I felt in that moment. I tell you exactly who I lost in these moments. All of these things, those details make it uniquely mine. And so regardless of how you interpret it when you hear it, it's still mine, right? It's my art, it's my story, right? And so that having that control and that also that vulnerability and stuff, it just makes people kind of, especially when there's overlap in your story and theirs, or like there's similarities and stuff, things they can connect with. It just builds a different type of relationship with your audience. And so I encourage like all artists, not everybody's the same, and I don't expect people to be out here like trying to do what I do or what someone else does, but just walk your path, find your truth, figure out the best way to convey that in your music if you're willing to do that and be that open. But yeah, man, inshallah, we appreciate it, sis. How was the food in Italy? Hey man, let me say something. The food was good. I'd even go as far as saying it was great. But I think I've talked to so many people or watched so many shows that talked about how great the food was, that was probably the part of it that was just okay. And it wasn't that the food was only okay. Like there were moments where it was amazing. But I think because our time was limited, and then in a lot of situations, like the menus were kind of set. So we didn't have as much time to kind of go where we wanted to go, or certain things. So like some of the food we had was like really great, but because we were at a resort for most of the time, we were just kind of limited to what was there. And some of the stuff that they had there was great, but some of it was just like, okay, this ain't, I know this, I know I haven't been here before, but I've heard enough about this place to know that this is not the best that this place has to offer. However, though, the first restaurant we went to on day one in Rome, the pizza was amazing. That was some of the best pizza I've ever had, ever, which makes sense because it's Italy. But then I had some pizza later. Of course, it's like airport, and it's just like, yeah, that ain't it. I knew it wasn't going to be it, but I was just like, oh, before I go, it was just like, yo, poor decision, poor decision. You know what I mean? But then, yeah, man, like, you know, and then we had some pasta and stuff like that. This ravioli I had at the wedding was actually pretty great. But or was that no, that was dinner at the resort, lunch at the resort one of the days. They had this ravioli, which was amazing. But then, like, you know, that would be amazing, but then to have the lasagna. And I think part of it is we've grown up having, like, you know, Italian American like food, not necessarily Italian food, right? And it's different. So like shutting off that part of you that knows what America has told you this tastes like, or taught you that it tastes like, and then kind of fully appreciating what it's really supposed to be. So so we definitely got to go back so we can kind of really do our, like, go back for our, like, our foodie vacation. You know what I mean? Buy some pants that are a couple sizes bigger, because I'm come back looking ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, because that was probably the one part of it that I had higher expectations, and because my expectations were so high, I would say it kind of fell short, but not because it wasn't good or certain things weren't great, but just like literally I was ready for my mind to be blown, and it just wasn't. You know what I mean? So just being real. All right, let's see. Peace. What's going on, Last King Saints? Super random question. I just remembered. I've always wondered what was the story behind Billy B. White. That's hella random. Billy B. Whiteums. So I cannot take credit for that silly ass name. That would be No of the rap group Cunning Linguist. Shout out to the homies, my Q&5 brethren. So basically, if you look at the cover of the Wink mixtape, for those of you who don't know, I did a mixtape many years ago, called Wink. It's basically, Wink is a bunch of, it's a mixtape of all of like my different long love songs around that time. And the cover is meant to look like Billy D. Williams, like Colt 45, like advertisement, right? It's me and my wife Rochelle. And she's kind of like peeking over my shoulder or whatever, and it's called Wink. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know, it's wild. And Billy B. Whiteums is a name that No came up with because he's the host of the mixtape and stuff, and so he's like the white Billy D. Williams. So he basically came up with the name Billy B. Whiteums. That was what he came up with. But yeah, it was hilarious. Let's see. Early says, oh wow. Good evening. What is your opinion on the new trailer Digimon Time Stranger and Digimon Beat Break? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I did see, what was this other trailer I saw though? Oh my God, I'm trying to remember the name of the if it comes back to me. I did see this one trailer the other day which looked pretty amazing, so I'm excited about that. How are the sights over there? I'm about to show you the sights. I know I've been hyping it up for a minute. I'm gonna eat some pasta right now. Enjoy yourself, Early. Enjoy yourself. Ravioli's good. Yeah, man, the ravioli was amazing. I heard the pizza over there is different than how it is in America. Absolutely. Yeah, the pizza. Like I had this white pizza when I was there. This 4 cheese joint, which was that was amongst that, and the ravioli was amongst the best things I had while I was there. It was pretty amazing. What time is it in the USA? So the part of the USA that I'm in, I'm on the East Coast, just outside of Washington, D.C. It is 5:13 p.m. What time is it where you are? And let us know where you are. Some say Naples has one of the original pizzas, or some guy called Rafael Esposito. Yeah, I'm not familiar, but yo, one amazing thing during the trip was at the wedding, which was in a castle, which that was crazy in itself. They actually had like babysitters, right? Like these workers that like basically attended to our children and gave them like fun activities. But one of the other things that they had that people could do, there are these popular older women, I think called the Nonas, who have a YouTube channel where they teach people how to make pasta from scratch. They've been on like The View. They're really popular. Their YouTube channel, I forget exactly what it's called, but it has like over 250,000 subscribers. And the bride actually is like a producer. She's affiliated with them, and I think she's a producer for the show or something like that. And so anyway, my wife shows me this video of them at the wedding, and they were teaching Destiny like how to make pasta, which was crazy. And then so I started following them online, and I see them like talking to Whoopi Goldberg and all this crazy stuff. I had no idea like how big they were, but that was really, really dope. Peace. What up, Josh? We need more skits like that on your future albums. Word. Question. Wife says she can't listen to a few songs off To This Union. Yo, yeah, I don't know what's happening right now. Apparently on Apple Music, To This Union was taken down, but it's still on other platforms. So once business opens tomorrow, I'll be talking to my distributors trying to figure out what's happening. But yeah, apparently that happened to some other records too from New Jabez. But yeah, so I don't know what's happening. Wedding in a Castle. Is this Game of Thrones? Yeah, just minus just minus the bad parts. Minus the bad parts. All right, let's see. Got another. All right. Man, I'm definitely one of those people who is I'm not so great at multitasking. Like if I'm talking, I basically stop like moving and doing other things I'm doing. So let me throw these in right now. These last few joints. All right. Another. And then we're going to hit upload. I'm trying to make sure there's like certain shots that I got to put in here because like, yeah, there's certain moments, man, during this trip where it was just like, yeah, it was really, really beautiful. You know what I mean? Hold on. Yeah, man. Ugh. That's a great one. All right. Boom. I know, y'all. I appreciate your patience. I promise you I got you. We on the last 3. And then and we are ready. Almost. Get it. Oh, that's a great one. Ugh. That's beautiful. Boom. Two more, and then I'm gonna stop because I'll be here all night trying to. And it's like I can't show y'all everything. But while this is uploading, let's get that there. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, with the fellas. Hey, man, it's clean. It's clean. All right, and last, I think we got one left that I'll put in. All right. And then we can move on. I appreciate y'all patience, man. I know this is not the usual. And again, I'm trying not to put everything up in here, but yeah, see, I want to put that one, but it's gonna cut off. Yeah, we'll just throw this one in and then call it. All right, cool. All right, so let's load these photos so y'all can see them. I appreciate everyone's patience and all that good stuff. Boom, and shout out to all 12 of you watching right now, man. Let me take this off the screen too. And by the way, this is the part where I gotta say it. If you don't mind, no pressure at all, but if you want to donate to the channel, you could do so via Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, all that good stuff. Also via the Super Chat. Never mandatory, but it's always appreciated. Thank you. It's how you keep me and mine off these poles, and we appreciate that. Sub talking about pasta like we ain't grow up eating the real Chef Boyardee. Hey man, you know what it is, bro. Like we grew up, and look, and here's the other thing too. Like our tastes get adjusted to certain things. So like my sister makes amazing lasagna, but prior to having her lasagna, like I had all these store-bought joints. And so then she come through, make it from scratch, and it was amazing. But even prior to both things that I had never had lasagna in Italy. So I don't really know what it's supposed to taste like. But I will say, right, like with ramen, I had like the little instant, the cup of noodle joints and the little oodles and noodles. Like we grew up on that. And so I really never had any gourmet, like high, top quality ramen until I went to Japan, right? And I think even the first time I went to Japan, I didn't have ramen there. I had sushi, I had a bunch of other, traditional like Japanese dishes, but I didn't have ramen in Japan until like maybe like my third or fourth trip. Because it's just like, like the way I grew up, like ramen was like last resort. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't the first thing I went to grab. It's like I grabbed that because that was all that was in the crib and it was easy to make. You know what I mean? And it's not that I didn't love it or it wasn't good. I think also for those who don't know, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure when I was like 14. So once that happened, I went out of my way to try not to have it so much. You know what I mean? Because that was part of the problem. I'd make that, cut up some hot dogs, or like because we in the DMV, I cut up half smokes. Shout out to rest in peace to my father, because he used to be a cook in New York, and when he came home, he had taught me how to cook. I wouldn't say he taught me how to cook, but what he did was he taught me how. We would say he taught me how to slice little dishes I would make, right? So in other words, he taught me how to improve certain things that I knew how to make. So rather than just having oodles and noodles like plain, like he taught me like, all right, while you doing that, boil an egg, right? Put an egg in there and boil it while it's doing that. And then when you're done with it, like you chop it up, put it in the joint, like boil it to the soft. So that was the first time I saw egg in ramen. But again, I had Japanese food at that point in my life. So I didn't know, but he did. So he was kind of getting me hip to certain things. And then I was putting hot dogs and he was like, nah. He was like, man, we got half smokes here. So we went and grabbed the half smokes out the freezer. And then we boiled the half smokes, and then he cut them up thin. Like, we were cutting them joints up like quarter inch. He's cutting it like half that. You know what I mean? Like making it real thin and stuff, and throwing it in there. And it's just like, it's part of the reason now when I put ingredients, me and my wife are very different. My wife is like old school black mama. And when I say that, it's because like my mom, when she would make certain things, would make the veggies, like when she cut it up, they would be chunks in there. If you've ever had one of them homemade hamburgers, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. So my wife is kind of like that when she does like vegetables or anything and stuff. It's usually like bigger chunks, right? When I make a tofu dish, the tofu's a bit smaller. When she makes it, it's big ass cubes, right? So but like with me, like when I cut up like my veggies, like it's fine, right? Like I cut it up real thin. I love cooking. And so I cut things up real thin. And part of the reason why I do that is so that the flavor spreads around a bit more. Because whenever I have like large like veggies or anything like that, large pieces of fish or whatever, like mixed into a dish where it's like multiple things, whenever there's a large piece of that thing, that flavor, when you bite into that one part of it, it takes over. But I find that when you make everything a bit finer, it spreads out a bit more evenly. So the mix is crazy. That's how I prefer it. You know what I mean? I'm nerding out real quick. But yeah. Bro, manwich hamburger helper, all that. Come on, son. You already know. You already know. All right, so we loading these pictures. We're gonna jump into it. Let's delete that. Go gadget. All right. I appreciate y'all patience, man. And it's good to be hanging with y'all on a Sunday. Feel like old times. Just happy it's still light outside. You know what I mean? Okay. We'll skip this first slide. So we're gonna do two quick things. Hold on. Quick comment from Warpath. Not gonna lie, I had to look up what a half smoke was. Hadn't heard that term before yet. It's a DMV thing, man. It's a DMV thing. You know, I'm sure somewhere else might have it, but if I don't know, you know what I mean? I just know I learned about it growing up here. All right, here we go. All right, so we're gonna start off. The first pictures you're gonna see are gonna be the first pictures that you're gonna see are gonna be from Teecon. I don't have a ton of pictures from Teecon. I just got a few, but so it's not gonna really fully do it justice and stuff. It's a smaller convention too. It's not a convention that has like tens of thousands of people and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely a smaller joint, but it's still a good time. Shout out to my peoples, DJ Candy Crush and Noodles for putting on, man. Shout out to black women in general, but black women, family, who put together a con that's been around for like 9 years. This was their 9th year. They're going into their 10th. But let's throw these up here and get into it. Yeah, man. All right. So this photo right here, the first photo that you're seeing is, hold on, I'm trying to fix one part of it. So the first photo you're seeing is, that's to my right and your left. That's DJ Candy Crush right there. She's one of the organizers of it. And the brother that's standing next to me, Andre Leroy Davis. This is the brother. If you have ever read a Source magazine back in the day, and you went all the way to the back of the magazine and saw the art in the back of it, that's the man who used to draw it. Fam. I walked by this man booth like 3 or 4 times before it clicked. And then when it did click, I lost my mind. I was like, yo. We started talking for a minute. Shout out to Mr. Mac. Mr. Mac, some of y'all might know him from the My Expert Opinion podcast. He's been popping up all over the place lately. And he used to work for The Source as well. And man, like hearing, talking to this brother about his time at The Source and the fact that like he knew Mecca and us just kind of clicking, man. We had a lot of great conversation and stuff. And yeah, man, salute to this legend here. Like, I know a lot of y'all don't necessarily know, but yeah, man, what was it? All right, and trying to find an example, because I bought some of his artwork, but I don't think I got it in the studio with me. I think I left it by my bag in the living room. But I'm gonna see if I can find a quick example of the art I'm talking about. Damn it. I gotta put his name. All right. Davis. Damn, I can't spell. Here we go. I bet. Yeah, man. All right, cool. So I got an example up right now. Yo, it's crazy. All right, so I'm gonna bring up a quick example before we get back into it. So hold up, let's see. The illustration of Nate Dogg, R.I.P., and his many, only one really moods. Yo, yeah, man, too real. That's one of my favorites. Yeah, this dude's a legend. I'm gonna show you this one. I'm gonna bring this one up right now. Uh, yeah. So here we go. All right, let's put this up on the screen so you can see it. All right, so I gotta bring this away. Yo, yo. So these illustrations would end up in the back of every Source magazine, like depending on like what the cover, like who the cover was talking about and all of that. It's crazy, but like finally revealed what's under LL Cool J's hat. Yo, but like shout out to this man. This style of art, like in the back of every Source magazine back in the day, man. Like, so it was great getting to meet this brother. Huge honor and stuff. I told him, as I'm about to tell you, like one of the first, like outside of graffiti art, right? Like, one of the first times I started seeing like illustration caricature like art, like really kind of like this, watching the two kind of live together, like hip hop and that. And it's not that there wasn't visual art in hip hop, but in terms of opening up a magazine and outside of seeing graffiti art, like just seeing like, more traditional art that like common folk, I guess, would recognize, right? And like it just kind of got my mind thinking about it. It felt like opening a newspaper and going to like the comics in a newspaper and stuff, but like seeing that, but around hip hop culture was crazy. So man, salute to him. Or the illustration of Eminem that he did double XL over. Word. Yeah, I'm not sure if he did that or not, but yeah, man, I just know legendary brother. All right, so yeah, man, it was just great meeting him and stuff and chopping it up with him. Let's see what else I got in here. This was just kind of right before we got set up and everything. Yeah, they had another room where there was like Lego art, and you could do like so Teecon, just so you know too, Teecon is really kind of focused on like entrepreneurs and stuff, different like clothing brands, local artists and things of that nature. And they do like entrepreneur like workshops and like have speakers and all of that. So it's a bit different than the other conventions that's out here. All right, so this brother here, Reginald McDonald, if his face look a little bit familiar, I want you to try to imagine him without the cap and without the beard. And now think about Bad Boys, right? Think about Bad Boys when like a young man shows up at the door trying to date or it's supposed to take Martin's daughter out on a date. And they basically, they bully the dude and try to scare him and all of that. But then in the most recent Bad Boys film, like he ends up marrying Martin's daughter. And now, he done went into the military and he a badass. So there's a crazy scene in that joint where somebody tried to break into the house, but they don't know who Reggie is. So this is Reggie. This is actually his name is Reginald McDonald. He's the actor from Bad Boys. So he's another person that was in there on the humble, and I walked by him several times, and then it finally clicked like, yo, oh man, I'm tripping. But shout out to him, man. Good peoples. It was cool chopping it up with him. And again, this is Andre Leroy Davis. Salute to this brother, man. All right, now let's look at these Italy photos. So this right here, this is like where we stayed just outside of Rome. We transitioning away from Teecon. Now we're going to these vacation photos. This is just outside of Rome, where we stayed about 20 minutes outside of Rome. Yeah, fam. That's the view from our hotel room. So we had a suite because I had the kids with me, so we needed more space. And so we had a suite, top floor, and like, we had the dope balcony that like literally was on two sides of the building. So like we walk out on one side and you're looking that way, and then we wrap around and we can go and so yeah, the view was crazy. It was really, really dope. Yeah, man, this is, I'm literally standing in the same place, but shout out to my camera phone. People love to crack jokes about Android, but I'm Team Galaxy, fam, and Galaxy is if you know, you know. If you know, you know. All right, this is now we're in Rome, like down the street from the restaurant where we had dinner with our friends. It's really dope. See my wife and my youngest down there in the middle and the bottom. And this is near this train station that we were standing there, just kind of capturing like what's the vibe of the city. It's a lot of tourists there, so it was kind of busy. But yeah, this fountain, man, legendary fountain and stuff. That's right, Warpath, represent. You know what I mean? Put your A's up, Team Android Squad. But yeah, man, legendary fountain that was built. I forget how many years ago this was built. I know it was more recent, but beautiful. We got to see this in person. Got to grab a photo in front of it, man. With the family and stuff. I forget the exact name of it. I'm sorry to those of you who know. If you do know, you can go ahead and drop it in the chat. It escapes me right now, though. But we got to see that after dinner. Yeah, man, this beautiful building as well. This beautiful chapel. If I'm not mistaken, I remember I think the driver said this is where I feel like they said it was a Sistine Chapel, but I'm not 1,000% sure. I just remember they were telling me what it was, and I think I was talking to my oldest at the time. But then my wife was like, "Yo, get a picture." This building, I have the name of it somewhere, but I gotta look it up. But just if you're an art school kid, man, like a lot of these places and in this style of architecture, we spent a lot of time in school learning about. And so like, yeah, it was just dope seeing a lot of this in person. This tunnel, man, this shot coming out of the tunnel before I captured that building was great, man. And so, we got to see some ruins while we were there as well. This is right alongside of the Colosseum, which is right there. Shout out to our driver, man, who was just taking us around, letting us grab a lot of great shots. Yeah, man. And then after we left, we were only in Rome for like a day. So we're driving along the countryside, heading to this town where the wedding was actually going to be. So this is just capturing shots along the way. And we finally made it to the resort. This great shot of my ladies looking out the window. And this is just the resort that we were at. Beautiful, beautiful space, man. This big mountain in the back, like just watching, clouds sitting on the mountain any given time. Thank you, fam. You know what I mean? It's that that Galaxy life, man. That Samsung Galaxy life. You too can have great photos. I promise you, they are not endorsing me. You know what I mean? But they should be. But yeah, man, I was out there with the crew, man. Shout out to Blitz. That's the best man right there. My man Pac FM in the back. Destiny working on her rapper faces. Sorry, it's blurred. They were moving a lot and it was nighttime. So, but this was the white party we attended. It was amazing. Yeah, man. Shout out to the groom right there. That's my man Wild Child with the hat on and stuff. It was a lot of music being played. So for those who don't know, Wild Child is if you've ever seen Stomp. Stomp, they had this dope poster with this guy doing this pose on it, foot in the air and stuff, and like they're making music with like trash cans, everything. So if you've ever seen the poster for Stomp, you've seen my boy, right? Because he was with Stomp for a long time, traveled all over the world with them. A lot of the people who were at the wedding were entertainers, singers, multi-instrumentalists, DJs, rappers. Like, there was so much music, man. Like, we had a cypher at the wedding. That's what photo I forgot to put in here. Hey, what's going on, Morgan? Good to see you up in here. All right. But there were so many entertainers. So one of the people who is not in this photo, but I think that's his wife in the back, is Ahmed Best. You might know that name because he's the person. He was a Jedi on the recent, I think the last season of The Mandalorian. But most notably, he's the man that did the voice of Jar Jar Binks in Star Wars Episode 1. So, you know, he's a homie. He was a part of our crew back in the day as well. Like, even before I was in the mix, like they're all homies. And so I met him later on and stuff. And fun fact about him too, man, like back when they were calling like jazzy hip hop or jazz rap used to be called like anything that sounded close to that, especially if they had live instrumentation as well, was considered acid jazz is what they would call it, right? And so he was really kind of flying that flag early on. So that's why when people will be like, yo, man, y'all legends, y'all started this stuff. And I'm like, bro, we're torchbearers, bro. Like, you know, long line of torchbearers. There was so many people doing this style of hip hop, right? Their version of it before us. And so we're just carrying tradition. But salute to him. But yeah, man, it was just crazy. Yeah, yeah. Now, like I said, this wedding ruined other weddings for me. You know what I mean? Like, I know I got other weddings that I'm gonna attend in my life, but I need you to understand that stuff that we witnessed at this wedding is probably never happening at another wedding. You know what I mean? It wasn't so much just about the location. The location was dope, but it was just the people there too. Like, from our old friends to like just these like so many, like Ahmed, the brother who I was mentioning, the one who did the voice of Jar Jar Binks. Like, he's also playing African drum at the wedding too. Like, as we're moving into the reception area, like he's literally playing African drums. I got video of that. I'm gonna post that as a short in a minute. But yeah, man, like it was crazy. Looks like I had an amazing time. It was great. It was really, really great. Thank you, fam. Morgan. Damn, the voice of Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, man. Should have read the vows in John. No, they shouldn't have. No, no, they shouldn't have. Yeah, man. Shout out to the parents of the bride. Shout out to Chiara as well. Or Kiara, I'm sorry. That's her mom playing guitar there in the middle. And the gentleman in the glasses, that's her father. So that's the parents of the bride there and stuff. Most of the amazing photos I have of the bride are like they're horizontal instead of landscape, so it didn't really fit in this format. So that's the only reason why you're not seeing her in these. There, man, that's all the groomsmen right there. Shout out to the homies. You see Wild Child, he's the groom, and then shout out to Blitz, shout out to G. You know, that's the core, the brothers who created my old crew, the Plague. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they are one of the best rap groups I've ever seen perform live. Like, their stage show, I'd put their stage show against anybody. And the only reason why most acts that are more established would probably get a better response from a crowd is because people know their songs. But these dudes walk into a space where people, even if people didn't know them, it was just clear. Like, number one, these dudes are wordsmiths. Number two, they are amazing performers, man. It was like theater. It was like theater. It's part of the if you've ever seen my live show and was like, damn, Stan puts on a good live show. Hey, bro, I'm a product of these dudes and so many other crazy, rest in peace to Pumpkinhead, PH. Yo, like savages. Like, just amazing performers, man. Equally dope with the bars, and this is who we were watching, you know? Beautiful wedding. So, as you can see, there's the castle where everything took place. Yes, the bride was Italian. Yep. Is Italian, yes. So, this is the castle where the wedding was held. Yeah, man, and I love this photo, man. This is me and the homies right here. Shout out the icon right here, a.k.a. Mike King. Tone Deaf right there. That's Blitz in the middle. Me next to him. Legend next to me. That's Wise Guy. from Wise Guy and Gaston. Amazing MC, one of the best freestylers. This is like maybe about 30 minutes before a cypher, or about 20 minutes before a cypher broke out. That lasted for like another 30 minutes. G-Man came and was freestyling and literally lightning struck at the same time he ended his verse, which is hilarious because there's a video online of Mos Def freestyling in Central Park with a bunch of MCs around him, and there's one white guy in that cipher like listening to Mos, and that's GMS. And GMS had the long hair back then, and so we used to joke and say he looked like Jesus. And so what's crazy is when the lightning struck behind him, I was like, yo, if there were any doubts. All right. I'm just responding to a message. But yeah, man, like, yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. All right. Yeah, man. So this is what the inside of the castle looked like. Crazy. At one point, like, it started raining. And then this woman came out and started singing like basically it was like an opera like type of like a song you would hear in an opera, and it was amazing. It was amazing. But yeah, man. So that was that, man. It was pretty dope. But yo, yeah, man. Shout out to everybody who was there, man. It was just it was, man. Like the rain happened. The woman came out singing. It stopped raining as she started singing, and then we come back out, and the party kept going, and yeah, man. Like we saw the DJ at breakfast the next morning. He still hadn't gone to sleep yet. You know what I mean? Like they were partying till like 3 a.m. Like we showed up at the joint like around 5 p.m. The joint wasn't over till like 3 a.m. It was insane. So yeah, man. But shout out to everybody who was there. It was definitely a crazy. Yeah, it was. It has ruined other weddings for me. Prior to this, I think the most amazing wedding we went into was like a co-worker of my wife, and their wedding was amazing, man. The brides were like beautiful, and the bridal parties like was like 20 some deep. Like they were crazy deep. And I've been to weddings before, but I think this was the first gay wedding I had been to. And family, like it's really one of those things that, man, like if you love, it really doesn't matter like who it is, right? Like, and that's fam, like that was the most fun. Prior to this wedding, that was the most fun I think my wife and I had ever had at any wedding all time. And I was just like, yeah. Yeah. I was like, man, we might need to just start crashing gay weddings, because these mams have way more fun. way more fun. Like, yo, you can tell when maybe part of it, right? Maybe part of it is when you've denied something from people who are literally just trying to spend the rest of their lives with someone they love, right? And they're just trying to do it like, they're just trying to make it legit. Like it's already legit, but they're just trying to do the paperwork, you know what I mean? Like take the steps, like make it official. And so when you're part of a group of people who've been denied that for so long, hell yeah, when it's time to do it, they're going to do it big. And yo, it was amazing. It was so amazing. It was so much fun, man. And like, I don't know, maybe a decade has gone by since we've been the one that was as much fun as that. And this was that, and it's partly because we also had our kids with us, and they had a great time too. But yeah, man, it was the stuff of legend for sure. It was beautiful. Now that's a pretty great vacation. Yeah, it was dope. It was dope. Too epic. If I ever tie the knot, I'm just going to the courthouse. Too much money. Yo, definitely. I feel you. Any queer event is a time. And my apologies if I used the wrong term. Thank you, Steph, for correcting. Yeah, yo, listen, that queer wedding was the stuff of legend. It was the stuff of legend. And it took a decade plus before like we went to something that topped it. And we've been to our shit. We've been to a lot of weddings since then. So yeah, man, it was beautiful. My two best weddings were Jamin's in New York. That was a dope one too. Oh, and DP1 was the DJ at that wedding as well, early. You know. I'm glad you had such a great time. Good way to end your summer. Yo, man, definitely. Damn, that sounds fun. The only Haitian weddings I've been to are Haitian weddings, the only weddings I've been to are Haitian weddings, and they are always the same format. So, yo, what's crazy is, so my wife is Haitian, and so a lot of the weddings I've been to as well, like, are Haitian, and like, what's dope about like Haitian weddings, other than the food is always great. But also, man, like compa, like if you like dancing the compa, yo, like, but you got to be built different. Let me tell you, you got to be built different. You got to have strong hips. Your legs got to be equipped for like 7-minute songs. Yeah, man, you gonna get them reps in. It's no joke. Only weddings I've been to. Whoops, typo. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, man. So, yo, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. But before I go, let's get this graphic back up here. Hold on one second. Or I should say, get this graphic up here. So, the big thing that's coming up, man. I leave for China on Tuesday for this amazing tour that I'm about to do with Marcus D, where we will be performing in 4 cities in China. Our first time touring in China. Not my first time to China, but my first time doing an official tour. And I'm super excited, man. It's going to be great, because the last time I did something in China was 2012, and that was technically for Bentley. And so I really only got to perform songs that I did with the group Phenom, my old group where we were doing a lot of EDM related stuff back in the day. So I didn't really get to do any of my solo stuff. So this is my first time, like on mainland China, like performing, like, you know, the music I made with Marcus, the music I made with Nujabes, music from some of my solo albums, music I made with like Kenichiro Nishihara, music I made with Cradle Orchestra. Yeah, man, it's about to be crazy. It's about to be crazy. Got the merch packed and shipped some shirts out already. And yeah, man, we are excited. Did anyone else buy a Powerball ticket? My wife did, and we lost. We won nothing. You know what I mean? If you see me with the Platinum Grill later this week, that's the sign. Cool. And I'll be sure to send you my remind you with my PayPal. Hey, Early, let me hold something. Early, let me hold something. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, but just again, China Tour 2025 with Marcus D and Substantial is about to go down. Lots of great photos and more coming up, man. Stay tuned. I can't wait for y'all to see it. Hopefully we capture some great videos so y'all can see some clips too. But yeah, man, it's gonna be dope. But on that note, if y'all ain't got no questions, man, I'm gonna go ahead and stab out. Get back in here with the family and kick it with them. But yeah, man, I hope y'all have a great rest of your weekend. Super excited to get out there and do what we do. It sounds like a great tour. Yeah, man, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. All right. But on that note, I'm out of here. Y'all have a great one. It's time for that time of the show where we get this outro music popping, which is my youngest daughter's favorite part. All right. So on that note, y'all take care, man. I'll see you soon. Talk to you sooner. Hopefully, I will say this before I go. Hopefully, if time permits, I will try my best to go live while I'm out there in China with Marcus D. So we'll see if we can do Substantial weekly. I just know that around the time we would normally go live, I think that's around the time the event is going to be ending. So it may be difficult to do that. And then also, like, I got to try to save some of my voice too, because we got 4 shows in a row. No days off. You know what I mean? We just get into it. Who made it to the end? Yes, here we go. So on that note, I'm out of here, family. Peace. Who made it to the end? Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Who made it to the end? Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Yo, 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 yo. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Yo, 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 yo. Subscribe, like, do whatever you like. Stay subscribe, like, do whatever you like. That's right.